You what?
Wanna be perfect. I was perfect.
Black Swan isn't just a movie about a ballet dancer, about the pain she endures to get her dream role. It's also about perfectionism and the pain of perfectionism. If you don't know me, my name is Alina. I'm a mindset and energy coach. Subscribe and let's dive into this. The first part will be the discussion of psychology of perfectionism. And we'll start here from the relationship of Nina and her mother. So Nina was a ballet dancer. She was 28 years old and she was still living with her mother. In terms of her relationship with her mother, it was not okay. Why? Because her mother was controlling her in every aspect of her life. What she eats, how she dresses, how she decorates her room, and so on. And we can obviously see that Nina's age is not in the alignment with her psychological state because she dresses, she talks, and she looks like a teenage girl, not like a mature woman who she actually is being already. Her relationship with her mother is an essential part here. Let's dive even deeper. So her mother was also a ballet dancer. She couldn't complete the goals that she wanted to complete in her career. That's why she became so controlling, so possessive over her daughter. Therefore, her daughter doesn't have her own voice, her own wishes, desires, and even a possibility to dress the way she wants to dress. And here we are diving even deeper into Nina's perfectionism. The root of it here is her relationship with mother. Because of her mother's possession of her daughter's life and the lack of psychological separation, because Nina still can't figure out who she really is. She still desires to please her mother through her perfect work. As she says, she wants to be perfect. But why? Because a mother figure, psychologically speaking, a representation of the world. Because when we were little kids, we needed mother because our mothers were whole world. She fed us, she took care of us, and so on. That's why, psychologically speaking again, Nina wanted to please other people so much because she wanted to please her own mother. And that was the main issue here. That is the root of her perfectionism that was slowly destroying her own life. Nina was a classic, maybe even exaggerated embodiment of a good girl, of a woman who has people-pleasing tendencies, who still seeks for the external validation. But as you may understood, she was always seeking for the validation of her own mother, therefore from the world as well. And this syndrome has influenced a lot on her perfectionism. Maybe it was even the root of her perfectionism. In this movie, she was a perfect ballerina, literally in everything. Her moves were so precise. Her body movements could be the embodiment of perfection, but still it wasn't enough. Because for this role, she needed to play a different side, the opposite side, the evil, the dark Black Swan, and Nina definitely struggled with this a lot, because in order for this to happen, she needed to let go her good girl syndrome, her perfectionism, and basically everything she was made of. So that was the main and a big part of her own personal development in this movie. Let's dive even deeper, because when a woman has a good girl syndrome, who is she? She's afraid to be in her own truth, and more than that, she may not know her own truth, who she really is. She may wear a mask, or she would try to be someone because she needs to be liked by someone or everyone in this world. The price is high here because she loses herself, her authenticity, and who she really is. Women with the good girl syndrome is lacking their personal boundaries, their aggression, their sexuality, their authenticity. And Nina had it all. She was perfect only through one side of her. But we all have a different side, a shadow part within us. By Carl Jung, a shadow part within our psyche is a part where we collect all the suppressed feelings, emotions, desires. And Nina was afraid of this part. She never even looked into this part in her entire life. She was afraid of her sexuality, of her aggression. Therefore, she was lacking the boundaries she needed. She was lacking this free flow of energy that was also required for this role. That was the reason she couldn't let go. And the thing about people who are afraid of their shadow is that the more they suppress their shadow, the more they try to be perfect, the more they try to be a good girl or a nice guy, the more they're losing themselves, who they really are, and the bigger their shadow becomes. So everything that's suppressed becomes bigger and bigger, the more you avoid it. That was the case of Nina. And what happened next? The other character in this movie was Lily. She was an embodiment of the dark feminine, of the shadow, of everything that Nina suppressed in herself. She was free, wild, sexy. So basically, she had all the traits that Nina needed the most, especially for this role. When they met, they somehow matched. And why is that? They were the opposites. One had the traits the other needed. And that's why they got along for some time. At first, Nina was afraid of Lily because it's absolutely normal to be repelled by something that you deny so much in yourself. But at the same time, she was extremely attracted to her. Why is that? Because she wanted to have what Lily already had within her. All the shadow part integrated, or in some parts not integrated by Lily, because she was pure embodiment of freedom, where you allow yourself to do something that isn't right, but is right for you. And Nina extremely needed this. She needed this energy to be free, to finally let go. And during this scene, when they went to a club and when Nina lost control for the first time, we see that she finally embodied a part of her shadow. She embodied something that she was denying, betraying, something that made her feeling ashamed. She've done that all. What usually happens to people who accept their shadow desires? They become complete, they become whole. And in terms of Nina, she needed this a lot. It doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing, no. But as I mentioned before, when you suppress your shadow for a long time, it will burst to the highest level possible, to the maximum. And the same happened with Nina. And it was just the beginning, by the way. We don't know what could happen next, but still, that was her embodiment of the shadow part, of the part that she finally accepted.
Perfection is not just about control. It's also about letting go.
When Nina finally let go, when she finally managed to lose control, what happened? She found the key to perfection, and her perfectionism she embodied before was just an illusion, because she couldn't find perfection when she was perfect, when she did extremely perfect moves, when she acted perfectly, when she talked perfectly, dressed perfectly again. She never found perfection there. When she embodied her dark feminine side, her shadow part, that helped her to finally let go. She embodied perfection in her own way, but it costed her everything to find this path, the path and the pain of perfectionism.